Okay, so now it brings us to the part of the program where we're going to learn some burlesque tips and tricks. And this time, I'm not going to teach you. We have the lovely Lada Redstar teaching us today some sexy, secret, sophisticated tips. So I would like us, ladies, to imagine that we are on a date and we have a dinner date with a very, very sexy, handsome man.
Go on with the story. I'm liking it so far.
And we have to make sure this dinner date goes very well. And we would like to present ourselves in this sort of classical, glamorous, sophisticated Lada Redstar kind of way.
Oh.
So, first of all, what should we wear, Lada?
Okay. So I think we should wear something that we feel confident in. We always want to push our boundaries and things, but maybe a first rendezvous, it's not the best time to do it. When I mean comfortable, I don't mean sneakers, and I mean my way of comfortable, which is something that is going to make us feel very, very sexy and very, very beautiful, and just pass a message to that man. So with every man, of course, you would want to wear something different. Some men will want you very sexy, some men will want fetish from you, some men will want a strong woman from you, and some men will just want like the young innocent lady from you. So just research before what that man wants from you. And give him pleasure, satisfy him, give him what he wants. And then he's gonna give back at one point. But we're gonna have to work so hard for it with men nowadays, you know. So I think just wear something in between with what makes you feel good and something that you think is gonna make he want you.
Okay, so, I mean, I've noticed...
and remember, one more thing. Yeah. Layers. So you can actually play with layers. You can give him one layer of what he wants, so maybe the innocent girl, and underneath you can show your own personality with something very naughty if you're a very naughty person or something. So remember that you have layers in what you're wearing, and maybe the first layer can be a very elegant fur or false if you don't like real fur, but it can be something very covered and very ladylike, and you take it off.
You're right. Depends on how the date is going.
Exactly.
Whether you really like him, then maybe you'll take it off. If you're not, so you just leave it on and okay.
But I mean, with the clothes, you have so many options of expressing yourself, and you can use them all.
I mean, I've noticed with your dresses, you love to have a beautiful décolleté line to your dresses, as you have today. And I mean, this is something that is quite nice to decorate this area.
Yes,
and then also
but as well, put décolletés where people don't expect them, like on the back, like I'm having tonight.
Ooh.
So don't put the décolletés always there in the front. Use other things. You can have an open back and maybe have a necklace falling behind your back, and maybe he's not even going to notice that little detail until you just get up to powder your nose at one point of the dinner. So give him surprises during the whole night.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay.
Suzanne is liking this.
Okay, so that's what to wear. Secondly, the arrival, which is very important to make that memorable, unforgettable entrance. And how do we do that, Lada?
As well, I think that you should always express yourself, or at least the woman that you want to be that night on your arrival. So some women, they really steal your sight when they get inside the room. That's how they are, and you can only see them. But if you're not that kind of woman, I don't think that's a problem. You can be this, innocent girl that almost nobody sees but him. And you're gonna be only his own little girl, So not every woman wants that woman that comes inside the room and all men wants her. Who knows? So just be yourself and try to express what you want to give to him. You don't have to be this Lada Redstar or this powerful woman. You can be anything you want, but just take a deep breath before getting inside the restaurant or of the room where he is. Concentrate and just open the door, and don't you get inside that world let the people who are in the room get into your own world where you're walking in. So, impregnate, like, fill the room with yourself when you get in. And that yourself can be anything you want. It doesn't have to be a femme fatale. It can be anything you really want or you are.
Like that. Impregnate the room with your femme fataleness.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. Right. So we've made our entrance. So we're sitting down at the table.
Yes.
Now.
Before sitting down, he should stand up.
Ooh.
Yes. And make you sit down, because me as a woman, I don't just sit down.
So would you pause for a second and wait for him to do that? So
sometimes with men nowadays, you have to pause for a few seconds. And then they might realize they should move your chair and make you sit down. But that's, with the men that I usually go out with, I don't have to pause many seconds. They stand up right away when they see you, Like in the 20s movie, they would just be like, oh, she's here. There you go.
I mean, it's wonderful to have that old romantic gentleman and lady sort of etiquette to a dinner date.
Yes.
And sometimes they might just need a little bit of prompting, right?
Yes. So it wouldn't be very elegant, of course, to give you a hand right away. He should maybe, make a gesture that he wants to kiss your hand. But sometimes you just have to go for it and just play the game.
Yes.
And remember that if a man kisses your hand and touches your hand with his lips, you should just get rid of him as soon as you can. This is not going to be the man of your life. This is very, very bad manners. So catch those little details, if he's pretending to be a well-mannered man, or if he really is. If he really is, he would just take your hand and just kiss your hand with his breath and not with his lips. So it's just going to be from far away.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right. I didn't know that one.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Right. Okay. So now we're sitting at the table.
Okay.
We've made our entrance, and while you're having your conversation, it's good, I guess, that you appear confident, even if you're feeling very nervous. So how do you appear confident and in control of the situation?
I think that if you're not a confident woman, first of all, it's not a problem. Many men actually are really scared of self-confident women. I have that problem a lot. So it's not, it's not something that you have to force. You can as well be just a very delicate woman, and you don't have to look at him in the eyes, because it's going to be very, very sensual and sexual, even if you look down most of the time. And just from time to time, you give him the pleasure of looking in your eyes. But of course, you should try to be as confident as you can. And in order to do that, I think there are a few rules that really help a lot. The rules of posture that actually sort of block your muscles. And because your muscles are blocked in this elegant position, you can't really go wrong. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So when you're sitting down, remember, first of all, your knees should always be one next to each other. So never keep your legs open like this. That wouldn't be elegant. Remember, your feet always next to each other. And even if you're wearing the most beautiful pair of Louboutins, putting the tip of your feet up, it's going to look very ugly, even if they see that you have a red sole. So point your feet always, always, always. Then we're going up to the back.
Suzanne, are you doing this too?
Oh my God.
Legs together, Suzanne.
So we're going to get to the hands, because this is really bad.
Okay.
But we're going to go up to here now.
Okay.
So put this in, the belly in.
Okay.
And straighten your back. And open your world to him. So just take a big breath in. And offer your breast to Jesus. Yes, up there. And say a big hallelujah. And then you put your shoulders down. And you create a very elegant line of your neck. And very, very long. And you can play. And this actually part of your face, the chin, is going to be the one that is going to express so many emotions. Are you going to be proud and pointed up? Are you going to be a little bit shy and pointed down? And maybe even cover your chin and your mouth with your hands from time to time? Or are you going to laugh? What are you going to do? The position of your head is going to the one who is going to express your emotions. And all the rest should sort of stay the same. Of course, you can giggle a little bit with your shoulders. What is going to be very sexy while you do that? Try to block sort of your shoulders down and then point them in the front. And this is going to make your, these two bones stick out a little bit, which is always a very sexy thing. And it's going to make you look thinner if you want to be thinner, but you know, this is, the collarbone. Yes. And this triangle here, that it's always one of the sexiest things and all men want to ejaculate on. So let them
not at dinner though, not at dinner.
Yeah, but you make them you know. So let them all the time imagine there's a little drop of their sperm here in the middle, in this little point triangle here. So play always with a little drop, and you know, just imagine the drop there. And then our hands. So of course our hands are one of the biggest expressions of ourselves. So if you're staying like this, like Suzanne was before, that is going to say all loud, I'm so stressed. I have no idea what am I doing with myself. So use your hands and just sometimes imagine that one of your hand is a little branch of a tree and the other hand is a bird sitting on it. So just be very elegant and use your hand to express yourself and use little ballerina hands all the time. And of course, with the hands, you can caress yourself a little bit and imagine always that he has to imagine he is caressing you at that moment. So he has to feel that your skin is so soft and your lips are so wet. Yes. And that you have the goosebumps from seeing him. So all these little movements, just you have to imagine he is touching you. Exactly. And I see that even the ladies in this room are all red on their cheeks. So can you imagine how is that going to be with a man? Because men have no control whatsoever over anything at all. So remember, girls, first lesson, the man is absolutely going to have no idea at all what are you doing of him. So just play with the man like if he was the little mouse and you were the cat, playing with that mouse as much as you want, because that's how it is. Even though men make you believe they're self-confident, no way, you're the one keeping the situations in your control. Exactly. Always.
Exactly. Okay, so we know now what to wear, the arrival, and subtle ways to flirt, how to use our posture, and now the goodbyes. How do we say goodbye?
We say a goodbye that is never going to be an adieu, which means like a farewell forever, but it's always going to be something they're going to be, maybe I'm gonna see her, maybe she's gonna send me a message in 1 hour. Maybe she's gonna want me in her bed tonight. You know, just make them like believe that they don't know if they will never see you again or if they will see you maybe in 5 minutes. You're gonna want them in
Okay, you've got to leave a question mark there.
You have to leave a question mark there. And especially, most important thing is that you have to leave them with many memories of you, souvenirs that has to tickle. This is, I think, one of the most important things in seduction, is to tickle all the 5 senses. You're gonna have to be dressed in a way that their eyes are so fulfilled with joy and excitement. You're gonna have to wear the perfume that they are going to remember you forever. Because remember that people, if you think even about yourself, remember so often situations for the smell of those situations. So remember to tickle the smell of that man. Remember to tickle the sound. So why, for example, not to wear these vintage high heel shoes with a metal heel? And then he's always going to remember the sound of your walk when you walk away. This tick, tick,
it's a bit like this Pavlov reflex, yeah, like training a dog.
Yes. Yes, I agree with you. Training a man is exactly like training a dog, so it's very easy.
Oh.
Yes. So, tickle all of their senses, and remember, of course, when he leaves, just to touch him a little bit, and it's going to be the last touch. So, of course, if you have long nails like me, scratch him just this tiny bit to even maybe leave a mark on his skin, and then he's going to look at this mark and he's going to remember your long nails, and he's going to remember a whole. So as a woman, I think you have to be a whole experience. You shouldn't just be sights. You shouldn't just be smell. You shouldn't just be something that they hear. You have to be an experience. And when you leave, they're just gonna be left in this bubble of you, and they won't be able to get out of it anymore. And they're gonna get out of the restaurant in this bubble like this, and they just want to go back to it.
Wow. And they're going to not be able to think of anything else. At work the next day, they're going to be a mess.
Yes.
You're going to be on their mind constantly, I'm sure. Wow, that was amazing. Lada Redstar.
That just felt like sex, right?
It is getting really hot in here. I think we need a drink and a toast.
Yes.
To Lada Redstar, the true seductress.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.